Hello all and welcome back to the channel. I'm Michael, the part-time gamer full-time dad, and I've had several requests for a video about my UI, which I keep meaning to make, but never followed through. Well, that ends now. So first up, I'm going to start by listing all the mods that I use, then go from there. I'll only be touching on each mod briefly though, as I don't want this video to be like 30 minutes. Kinda goes against the whole main theme of my channel, short and sweet. A quick aside to that, links to all the mods will be in the description below. So, I run ELVUI as the main user interface overhaul, bigwig boss mods for my raid boss encounters, little wigs for my 5-man dungeon encounters, angry keystones for Mythic plus information, detailed damage meter for, well, damage/healing meter, auctionator for simple auction house help, garrison mission manager for ease of use mission interactions, NPC scan to alert me when there's a rare or elite around, and finally World Quest Group Finder to do exactly what the name suggests. So first up, my main user interface overhaul, like I said, is ELVUI. I'll spend the bulk of the time talking about this one as it does the most stuff. It's a pretty popular mod for a full-on overhaul of the default UI, as you can see in the video. I'm going to show you a little clip of what it does to your UI by default before you change any settings. And as you can see, it's not too bad right out of the box. However, I personally prefer customization, of which this mod offers you a ton. I've personally spent hours and hours setting up my personal UIs before in the past to get it just right. However, there is an easier method to getting a nice clean UI. You can copy and paste someone's profile and use that as your base template to get you started. Since many people have shown interest in my setup, which I made using someone else's UI as a base template, I will paste the giant code block in the description of the video. You will want to copy and paste that giant code block into a new profile on the Profiles tab. So next up is Bigwigs boss mods and Little Wigs. These are timer and mechanics alert mods for raids and 5-man dungeons respectively. As you can see in the footage, it alerts you when the boss is about to use an ability or advises you what steps you should take in order to avoid hurting your groupmates or worse, dying. These types of mods are pretty much essential if you're going to raid these days, unless you roll with a super hardcore guild. I use Bigwigs over Deadly Boss mods, which is the more popular one, as it puts less strain on your system, not by much, but a little bit. Not that my system can't handle it, but hey, why stress it if you don't have to, eh? I do use a few of the Bigwigs mini add-ons as well. I use all of the Bigwigs expansion versions, so BC, Classic, Kata, Mists, Warlords, and Wrath, as well as Bigwig's Voice, which gives you the ability to turn timers into voiceover countdowns, and finally Bigwig's Auto Reply, which essentially sends a return message saying you're fighting a boss to anyone who happens to message you during that fight. I'll not be linking those in the description for two reasons. Well, A, I'm lazy and that's a lot of links, and B, these aren't really necessary unless you do a lot of older content or are super concerned with the messages you get while raiding. Next up is Angry Keystones. This one's nice if you do a lot of Mythic plus dungeons, as it gives you a variety of information. Shows you how many deaths you have, alongside the total time reduction due to those deaths. It tracks which bosses you've killed and which ones are left. Shows you the percentage completed of the required trash. It also tells you what the affixes are and gives a brief detail of each one. I find this one a nice quality of life improvement for running Mythic pluses. Detailed damage meter is used for what you would assume, keeping track of your damage. I use it to track healing as well, and occasionally other things if I'm just screwing around. As you can see in the video, I have two windows open so I can track both damage and healing in real-ish time. Now, these types of mods aren't absolutely perfect, but they are great for getting a baseline of one's damage per second or heals per second. I use details over recount because as with Bigwigs, it just puts a little less strain on your system. Auctionator is a really good auction house overhaul mod, but all I use it for really is making selling 10 times easier. It does make buying a little bit easier as well. I'm not big into the auction house, but I'm sure there's tons of guides out there on how to fully utilize this mod, as it also has a ton of customization. NPC scan is, like I mentioned above, just a simple way to know when a rare spawn is nearby. It'll pop up a little box on your window and an arrow telling you which direction to go. Pretty straightforward. Garrison Mission Manager, much like Auctionator, I simply use as a time save. It allows me to quickly send away my missions by picking the best combos with the highest chance of success as demonstrated in the video here. And lastly, World Quest Group Finder. Well, this mod does exactly what the name suggests. It helps you to find groups for world quests. It makes doing your world quests much faster, as well as adds a little element of fun. And that's pretty much all I use. I don't have anything else spectacular. With that, we've come to the end of my personal UI video. Like I said, I'll have a huge block of text in the description of the video underneath all the links. Copy and paste that into the profiles tab and you will have exactly what I have. If this was at all helpful, consider hitting the like button, which is always appreciated. Leave a comment if you're feeling frisky. Get subscribed for more videos in the future. You can also hit me up on Twitter at ptgamer_ftdad. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.